All right, so this is a difference of two squares, and so what it's going to be a binomial. It's going to be generally a perfect square in the front, perfect square in the back, with a minus sign between. All right, and so you have to learn the pattern. With all factoring, you always want to look to factor out common factors first. There are none, but I checked. Okay, so here's the pattern. Two parentheses, a plus goes in the middle of one, and a minus in the middle of the other. Okay, then the fronts is the square root of the front, and the back is the square root of the back. And that's it. X plus 2 times an x minus 2 will give you an x squared minus 4, a difference of two squares. All right, how about something like this? Well, again, be careful. Remember, the key in the beginning is factor out any common factors first. So now I get 16a to the fourth minus 1. And that does leave me a difference of two squares. So watch, I'm not going to forget about my 2 parentheses, positive in the middle of one, negative in the middle of the other. The square root of the front goes in the front, it's 4a squared, and the square root of the back goes in the back, 1 and 1. Okay? Now this one is a little tricky. It actually can be factored one more time. Here's one more difference of two squares. So how would I factor that? Well, let me keep what I already have, 2 times 4a squared plus 1. That's not a difference of two squares because of the plus sign there. But this back one is, so 2 parentheses, plus in the middle of one, minus in the middle of the other. The square root of the front is a 2a, and that goes in the front in both cases. The square root of the back is a 1, and it goes in the back. And there's the complete factoring of that. It's a little tricky, but that's what you would do if you're going to completely factor. It just so happens in that situation. Let me show you one more here. So this doesn't quite fit the idea of a difference of two squares. However, we can still factor it if that will help us. So 2 parentheses, plus in the middle of one, minus in the middle of the other. Square root of the front. What's the square root of 25x squared? Whoops, almost wrote 25, is 5x, right? And that goes in the front of both. And now square root of the back. Well, we're just going to have to leave it square root of 7. Square root of 7. If you were to multiply it back out, sure enough, you would get 25x squared minus 7. All right, the difference of two squares. Always look for common factors. If they're there, factor them out first. Then 2 parentheses, plus in the middle of one, minus in the middle of the other. Square root of the first or the front goes in the front. Square root of the back goes in the back. All right, and there you go.